Hello everyone and welcome to the Project One eSports YouTube channel. I am BKXI and alongside me in the commentary box tonight for round 9 of Season 8 of Project One GT, it is Blocky Rex. Blocky, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad at all. We have 250 kilometers of the Daytona road course ahead of us, Blocky. It's the first time ever that the Project One GT series has visited Daytona. What do you think we can expect tonight?
Can expect a good race from those Supras with their straight line speed.
Yes, that is one of the main talking points. The development of the Kennedy Motorsports Toyota. They are heavily believed to be one of the favourites heading into this event, but not too well on the qualifying front. After what we saw in the 10-minute qualifying session, Blocky, do you think we should just go through the grid and get straight to it?
Let's go for it.
All right, so on pole for the first time. Yeah, on pole for the first time this season, it is Season 3 Drivers' Champion Lunacy. He's yet to win a race this season. Could tonight finally be the night? And joining him on the front row, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, Viper's Ed. He's finished second 3 times in a row this season in his reserve appearances. Can he finally break through and win his first race of the season? Season 1 Drivers' Champion Curving Texas returns to Project One GT full-time at Revo Satellite Racing. He starts his return in P3. Possibly the most informed man in P1 right now, Prying Stingray starting in 4th. It's the triple champ Blocky, Ridwan F1. He starts in 5th. And alongside him on the 3rd row, his championship rival Lane Everingham. How interesting is that going to be?
This could certainly throw up some spicy racing.
It certainly could. BKXI leads the Kennedy Motorsport Toyotas that we're talking about that we are predicting to be quite dominant in the race. He starts in 7th, the Stone Tower, starting alongside him in 8th. It is Season 2 Drivers' Champion and Triple Enduro Cup winner Bodhod in 9th. Blocky Rex rounding out the top 10. It is Season 7 runner-up Orphan Drop in 11th, Dynamite 296 in 12th. Jamo in 13th, Savage Duck in a one-off reserve appearance for FP Racing in 14th. And Bent Stick returning in a reserve capacity once again for Team Max Speed rounds off the field. So Blocky, let's get straight into it.
Let's go.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are off. A bit of contact at the back there between Lane Everingham and I think it's the Stone Tower. But Lunacy flies off into the lead and it's Prying Stingray with a beautiful start in that Mercedes-Benz. Is he going to try and chuck it down the inside of Lunacy? Oh, I'm not sure if he's able to get that one done. Seemingly no other drivers in the field though. Lunacy and Stingray still side by side. But Lunacy's going to send... Oh, Curving Texas! Curving Texas sends it down the inside. Can he get a good run on Stingray? Or is that Merc going to be able to slide through Blocky?
We shall see. The straight line speed of the Merc is not phenomenal, but he has managed to pull through into the end of the first sector.
Yeah, so Curving Texas is going to try and give it another crack. He's not able to get it done, so Lunacy taking the lead. Bodhod, he started in 9th. He's already moved his way up in the 5th. A phenomenal start. And I'm hearing in my ear that there was a bit of a delayed start there for Lane Everingham, which has sent him...
start, from what we're hearing.
Yeah, we're hearing a jump start. He was not able to launch correctly, and he's dropped down to what we believe... Yeah, P13, and he got caught up with the Stone Tower as well. And Stingray trying to hook around the outside of Lunacy.
This would be a brave move into the chicane, especially on lap 1. 43 more to go, backs out of it.
Yeah, so Lunacy leads now through the chicane. Prying Stingray in 2nd. Curving Texas looking like he's going to get a run.
Will he set or will he push?
It looks like at the moment he might just try to commit to sitting behind Stingray. He does have his teammate Viper Z sitting right behind him, so if they did want to work together and try and orchestrate a move, that could be done. And let's talk about 2 of our biggest movers of that opening lap, Bodhod and Blocky Rex. They started 9th and 10th, they end 5th and 6th. What a start there from the Merc and the Porsche.
Down the inside into 1. Bodhod holders around the outside. runs wide though, and Blocky gets the move done into P5.
A fantastic move there by Blocky, and a fantastic start from Revo. They started 2, 3, and 10. Now they're 3, 4, and 5 as Blocky Rex sending it down the inside of Viper Z. He gets that move done by the looks of it. And Bodhod has a half-second penalty, possibly, and it would be really rough. I think that might have been for running wide at turn 1.
Some stingy penalties here at Daytona.
That is for sure. So Ridwan as well. He's actually gone backwards off the start. He drops down to 7th. Dynamite up into 8th.
Well.
Dynamite up into 8th after starting P12.
Good start from Dynamite.
Yeah, and
Two. Oh.
BK's dropped down to 12th. So something's happened to him off the start as well. And Jamo right now able to stay ahead of his teammate as, yeah, Lane Everingham started P6, dropped down to P13. That is not going to bode well for his Drivers' Championship ambitions because remember, he is our current championship leader.
Also the Enduro leader, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he's won both of our Enduro so far at Le Mans and the Nürburgring. And a win here tonight could almost certainly wrap up the Enduro Cup before we even get to Bathurst. But from 13th, it's going to be a tough day ahead.
He's got a mission ahead of him, but plenty of time to go to make the places back.
Yeah, Lunacy right now leading a bit of a train here. Stingray and Curving Texas both looking like they're going to try and get their own runs. Viper electing to try and help his teammate hustle through. Tex with the fastest lap of the race. Is he going to try and hook it around the outside? Possibly contact there between Stingray and Lunacy, which is going to allow Stingray now to get a run on the Season 3 Drivers' Champion.
Run. And Lunacy... Oh, Tamus round the outside into 4.
Yeah, Viper's really trying to work there to get past, but it looks like he's not going to be able to get it done for now.
Rid one up into P5.
Yeah, so something's happened to Blocky there because he was on the back of Tex and Viper.
Again. Can he make this one stick? Runs Lunacy out of the road, gets it done into P2.
Yeah, so a big move there from Viper. That squabbling has allowed Stingray to build a bit of a gap. If he's able to take advantage of it, I'm not too sure. I think Viper will still be within the slipstream there. But if you look at that train, that extends all the way down. You could argue that Jack's still in that tow, maybe not.
Thereabouts.
But at least down to 8th. So 8 cars all in one train for the lead of this race.
This is looking to be a great race on our hands. Seeing what happens with strategy.
It's starting off quite well there.
Is 2-stop or not?
Yeah, the 2-stop versus the 3-stop debate. It will be one we're not sure. We're not sure what the teams are going to go for just yet. The 2-stop might be faster in terms of what you're at, like in terms of race time, but in terms of actually being able to push the car, we're predicting the 3-stop to be faster in that regard as Viper Z now trying to get a slingshot around the outside of prying Stingray, and we have seen our 3rd different leader in 3 laps. But Lunacy's going to give Stingray a push into turn 1.
And does he hold it? Camera angle is not favourable, but it looks like he has Lunacy down the inside of Viper as well.
Yeah, so it looks like Lunacy and Stingray may be forming a bit of a temporary alliance here to try and work together against these Revo boys, but Lunacy's run wide. Viper's going to get through, and it looks like... Yeah, Curving Texas is through as well, so Lunacy was battling for 2nd, but he's lost out entirely. He's dropped down to 4th, and now he's going to be under fire from Ridwan.
Curving gives Viper a bit of a touch there, and sneaks on by into 2nd. And Lunacy gets by as well.
Yeah, but Viper and Lunacy
into the oval.
And Viper gets it done. Viper Z up into P3. And Curving Texas, the big winner of that scrap.
And Red One gets it done as well. Lunacy ran wide on the exit. It's P4 for Red One.
Yeah, not a great start there for Lunacy. Started on pole, has dropped all the way down into 5th. And all that squabbling, you can see the gap. Look at the gap that Prying Stingray has been able to build.
He is running away. Can those 2 Revo Porsches catch up? Or will Stingray just bolt away? Bit wide from curving. Could see a penalty.
Yeah, and Stingray's been Very impressive so far this season. He won the round at Watkins Glen with a P1 and a P2. But he's driving on his own. Tex and Viper are going to be working together. Ridwan's got a half-second penalty, so that's going to set him a little bit further back in the field.
All that progress in the last 2 laps gone.
Yeah, he's dropped back down in the 7th. Lunacy up in the 4th now. Dynamite's moved up in the 5th. And he started in P12, and he's already up in the P5. So that
great pace from Dynamite.
Yeah, it was predicted that the Kennedy Motorsport Toyotas would have strong race pace, and I think they're starting to show it. And another thing to note as well, BKXI dropped down to P13 during the first lap. He's already moved back up in the 9th, so both of those Kennedy Motorsport cars forced into recovery drives, and they're starting off quite promising.
Looking good for them. Although the tyre wear may become an issue at some point. We'll see how they go with the 2-stop. Whether they're forced on 2 or 3, but time shall tell.
Yeah, the tyre wear has been a bit of an issue so far for Kennedy Motorsport. In our previous 2 Enduros, they've opted for 3 stops at Le Mans and at the Nürburgring, so based off that, they might end up doing the same. We are not too sure yet.
With the pace of the car, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I would if I was in a Supra. It's not my job.
No, it is not. As Curving Texas, you wouldn't want to look in your mirrors if you're Tex. A lot of cars there to try and capitalize.
Fend off.
Yeah, on the position you're in. So he's in 2nd. Viper Z looks like, is he going to try and get a run around the outside? Are they going to switch those 2 Revo cars around to try and catch up?
Like it.
Well, Luna's got a half-second, so he's going to lose even more ground in this race.
Penalty's going to be the killer here. Whether he loses the train or not could be a make or break for him.
Yeah, and I think I saw in the background as well that the Stone Towel had a half-second penalty too, so he was already in P10. That is just going to hamper him a little bit more as Viper Z moves up in the 2nd. Dynamite's in 4th now.
Great recovery from Dynamite in just 5 laps as well. Quick pace.
Yeah, 8 positions in 5 laps, and if you're Tex, you obviously want to try and keep up with Viper, but you don't want to let Dynamite get through to the front because we've seen the straight line speed advantage that those Supras have had all season. It was exploited heavily at Le Mans by Dynamite and BK when they worked together during the mid-stint. And it could be exploited even further today. And look at the back of that train. Bothod's caught up because of all the squabbling, and BK's there too.
This train now trails down to 9th place. The top 9 cars, all within slipstream of each other.
Yeah, and Viper, in a bit of clean air, he's actually caught up to Stingray.
Reeled back in, prying Stingray.
So Viper Z, he'll be very, very determined to try and win this one for Revo, and then try to possibly get them into 3rd in the team's championship. Looking at the timing board there as well, BKXI moving up into 8th. So these Toyotas really trying to hustle through and make up as much ground as they can. And we saw it at Le Mans when BK and Dynamite worked together, that when they're at a straight line speed dominant track and they're working together, they are the fastest cars on track. So if BK and Dynamite can link up again later in this race, Blocky, they could be very, very hard to beat.
That could be wraps for the rest of the field. Could be all she wrote, we'll see.
It could.
On the outside of Lunacy into the first corner, gets it done. Lunacy backs off.
Yeah, and we're talking about
7 now from 13th, just 6 laps ago.
Yeah, and I was just about to say we missed it. The Dynamite actually moved up in the 3rd, but he's run wide at turn 1, and he's dropped back down the 5th. So Ridwan now is the only car separating those 2 Supras from working together. But this battle here, Blocky, between Viper and Stingray, it is going to fully heat up now. And if you're Viper, I mean, he's clearly faster. In that last lap alone, 1.2 seconds faster. You've got to try and pass him, right?
Of course you do. You know you're faster. The car's got more straight line speed. It's just a matter of when. Not a matter of if, I suspect. But could be trying to save fuel and sitting behind him. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what play Viper goes for. Tex and Blocky in 3rd and 4th. Dynamite has lost a bit of ground there. But he does have Ridwan, BK, Lunacy, and Bodhod. He's towing all 4 of them along with him. And beautiful camera work from us. I suspected he would do it after the chicane, not before it. Viper Z moving up into the lead. And actually, you know what? First time ever. We'll get a replay of it.
A replay? Unbelievable.
So Viper Z, as we can see, got a beautiful run coming out of that corner there. Yeah, easy as you like. Stingray put up no resistance. Probably knows that he might be better off following Viper.
It's also very early on, so resistance and a possible collision would not be good for either of them at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It is a long race, like you mentioned. We're only on lap 7, and there's 44 laps in this one. You don't want to ruin your race too early on. So that's Stingray in 2nd, Tex in 3rd, Blocky in 4th, Dynamite in 5th, Redwine's in 6th, but I fear it might not be 6th for too much longer, because Dynamite's moved up to the high line to allow BK some slipstream to move past Redwine.
Like he needed it, but it got through anyway, clean as you like before the braking zone, and that's the Supras in 5 and 6 now. What can they do?
Well, I would imagine they might be able to do some strong things, because in that top 9, Ridwan and BK are the only drivers on the soft compound tyre. So Ridwan and BK really need to get a move on to try and take advantage of the tyre compound that they're on. Blocky right behind Curving Texas, but I think Blocky's content for now, sitting in P4. Maybe try his best to hold off Dynamite and BK.
Big slide from Curving. Stingray staying with Tamus, not pulling away.
Yeah, you've got to try to.
Of course you do. Can't let him run away, or that could be all she wrote for the rest of the field, unless those 2 Supras have something to say about it.
Yeah,
Staying
exactly.
In tow, consistent lap times, trucking along.
Yeah, keeping it consistent right now. Those Supras, man.
Might let BK through with the soft tyre advantage.
Yeah, you'd imagine they probably would enforce some form of team order to switch those cars around with BK, like you mentioned. Oh, Tex has made a mistake coming out of the chicane. So Blocky's through, and he's got a half-second time penalty.
That's going to let both Supras and Ridwan past as well, I suspect.
Yeah, Blocky's put the block on. He knows he has to, because those Supras are going to try and muscle through together. I don't think he'll have too much of a chance, though.
Dynamite's giving him the big push. Does he look for it down the inside? He does. BK around the outside. No, he thinks better of it. BK around the outside of turn 1, though. Does he get it done? No, Dynamite stays in front for now.
Yes, so Dynamite holds on. Maybe was a little bit too hesitant to try and overtake Blocky there. But that penalty has dropped Curving Texas down into 7th.
The clutches of Lunacy and Bodhod.
Yeah, so we've got three former champions battling it out for P7 in this one.
And Lane's still nowhere to this point. He's also training. Been lost from there at CP11.
Yeah, he's about to catch up the Stone Towel, and you know what? Those two might have to work together to see if they can salvage anything, because after their poor start, they've fallen back. Dynamite's run wide. Maybe that was tactical to give BK that inside line, because they've swapped the cars around now. Dynamite's tucked into the toe, and the podium better watch out.
Yeah, those top 3 better run, because those Supras are coming.
Yeah, those Supras are on the hunt. Viper Z, he has built a nice lead to Stingray. So Stingray at the moment not able to get the most out of those mediums. Blocky is going to catch him. And I think Blocky's going to want to hope that he can catch Stingray before BK catches him.
Yeah, it's going to be when, not if. I think there's 2 Supras past Blocky and Stingray. They're just so quick in a straight line on their own, let alone together with Ridwan in tow.
Yeah, I have a feeling it might be inevitable. On that last lap, Viper again 7/10 faster than Stingray. And yeah, Blocky's caught Stingray, but BK's caught them. So now Stingray leading a 5-car train in the battle for second.
All aboard the Stingray train.
All aboard the Stingray train. Looks like Blocky's run slightly wide there. Can BK try and capitalise?
thinks better of it for now. Staying in formation.
Yeah, is he going to try and send it down the inside? It looked like he was going to think about it, but Blocky put the blocks on. Looks like he slightly lost the back end there, but Blocky for now holds on. And if he's gonna battle like this with BK, he could lose ground to Stingray, which could really open the door for him to lose 2 places to those 2 Supras.
It really could. With the straight line speed disadvantage of that Porsche, it may be a matter of if. Sorry, when, not if.
Yeah, it looks
Will
like
BK do it down into chicane this time by? It looks. No, pushing this time into the chicane, thinking better of it. May go for the exit onto the oval.
yeah, we've seen how strong those Supras are on the exit of the chicane and just the last portion of the oval. If Dynamite's able to give him a helping hand, that
Bottom was wide there in the background. He's lost 8 to curve.
oh, he's off.
I think he's run wide through the chicane and taken a trip through the grass. And he's lost P8
We'll
to
get a
curve.
replay on that one.
Oh, he's lost the back end.
Yeah, he just lost the back end. Quick excursion through the grass. And that's dropped him down into P9. But we'll get back up now to the battle for third. Blocky and BK. Blocky doesn't opt to defend it. He's going to give Dynamite the toe. This could be 2 in 1. Yeah, it is. Oh, but Blocky's going to send it down the inside.
Down the inside. Dynamite around the outside of BK runs wide and Blocky slides back through. As does Red One. That's 2 for 1.
Yeah, Dynamite there. Caught on the outside. Blocky and Ribline following BK through. So that has given BK a spot on the podium, but Dynamite's lost a place himself. So how much did they really gain here?
Not much. 1 step forward, 2 steps back in the case of the 2 Supras there, but if they can link back up at some point, there may not be much stopping them.
I'm thinking maybe it was honestly 1 step forward, 1 step back, considering BK moved up 1 and Dynamite moved down 1. But lap 11 now, we're at the quarterway mark. I would imagine that with the 3 stoppers, we could expect to see them in this lap as Blocky, by the looks of it, maybe lost the back end there, which could
Slightly wide.
could lead
for Red One.
to an attack from Ridwan. And remember, Ridwan's on the softs, which could play into his benefit here. We'll see if Ridwan thinks of trying anything.
No,
I don't think he
they're
will.
going for the exit of the chicane, I suspect. It's a great run. Should be easy as you like out of here. No,
Yeah,
he's pushing.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to push him along. I think maybe they're going to try work together to try and keep up with BK. There's that battle for 4th. Oh, Viper's in. Blocky's going to follow him. So that's the
3-stop.
That's the 3-stop crew right there. Lunacy's in the pit lane as well, and so is Curving Texas.
Revos. This is a team strategy from Revo for the 3-stop.
So Stingray's going to retake the lead. He hasn't led this race since lap 2. Or lap 3, one of them. I think it was lap 3.
BK from 13th to 2nd now.
Yeah,
Great
Dynamite
comeback
12th to
for
4th.
2 Supras making work of the field.
Yeah, really making it look easy. They are. So these guys, you'd imagine, are these guys the 2 stoppers? And if they are, they've got to push. This is their time now. Remember before there were 8 cars, the top 8. Actually, it was the top 9 because Bottom was there too. Now it's just 4. 4 cars pushing along the train should be easier than 8. So these guys really have to try and take advantage of the situation they're in, because I'm sure that Lunacy and those Revos are going to be trying the exact same. And we'll see where they rejoined. Viper rejoined in, it's 11th now. He's gotten past Savage Duck. So those boys are at the back, those 2 stoppers. So they're going to want to try and do this stint as fast as they can, but they're also going to want to hope that the guys they're overtaking pit before they reach them. So they have to try and battle.
With the 2-stop, we're expecting around lap 15 to 16 for the first stop, so they will have to clear through some traffic. This stop in particular. To
Yeah, I'd say
compare.
anywhere between lap 14 to 16 in that range. As Stingray's going to lead another lap. BK's right
BK
behind.
hot on his heels. That rear right tyre looking very suspect on that Supra though.
Yeah, and it's not a favourable situation for Stingray to be in. He is on the mediums, yes. The
He's
two cars
wide.
behind on the softs. He's run wide.
B- he just holds it together, but for how much longer? BK's looking left, right, all up and around.
Oh, down the inside.
Gets it done. BK into the lead for the first time today. Can Ridwan follow him through? And he will need to quickly if he wants to stay with him.
Yeah, and and the benefit of the soft tyre. BK and Ridwan, they have that compound advantage. And
BK's wide though. Stingray back up the inside. Gets it done. Stingray back into the lead.
yeah, so Stingray not behind for too long. BK only able to lead for 3 corners. Oh, Ridwan's lost the back end there a little bit by the looks of it. But he's able to
keep it out of the wall there.
kept out of the wall, kept in the toe, crucially.
This should be a pretty easy pass for BK. Out of the slipstream. Round the outside of Stingray and gets it done before the braking zone. It's back into the lead. Hopefully more than 3 corners this time.
Yeah, an identical move to what Viper did earlier. And, you know, that chicane blocky, that's 4 corners. So BK's already led more than what he did before. And look at the gap that he's already built.
That is mammoth. I'd say Stingray's out of tow already to this point. Near enough.
Yeah, I think BK's
Ridwan
had
caught in his
a
heels.
much stronger chicane. And Dynamite as well, he's caught up. Ridwan knows he's got to move now.
Stingray being the cork in the bottle, the allowing Dynamite to catch back up to the train. Ridwan, pretty easy pass on Stingray. Shouldn't fight this too hard, he doesn't. Ridwan into second place. Can he stay with that Supra?
Oh, looks like he didn't have the greatest run.
Oh, Taily exit, and Stingray's all over the back of him again. Will he shape for a move? He doesn't, sits in behind.
So we're predicting, Blocky, for the 2 stoppers, that the pit window for them is open now.
So we should see the first of them coming in around this lap.
I'd say within 3. Depending on
14 to 16.
14 to 16 is that pit window that we are predicting. So that top 4, we'll leave them be for now. Bodhod in 5th. The Stone Towel has caught up to him quite a fair bit. Lane has actually dropped off. Just not really able to find any pace in that Subaru. Yeah, Orphan drop in 8th. So something happened to him earlier in the race that we missed. Jamo in 9th. Viper, he's working his way up in the 10th. He's built a nice gap to Blocky, who's in 11th. Lunacy and Tex squabbling a little bit. Those two probably want to pick a car and have that car lead them to try and catch up to Blocky. Savage Duck in 14th, and Bentstick, who has made his first pit stop, rears out the field. And we missed the overtake for the lead, but Ridwan's gone through. So we'll get a replay on that one. So
yeah,
look, it's actually a lot further back.
Must have been a mistake from BK.
Yeah, so BK's run wide.
Run wide onto the oval. Yeah. Bit of a bump from Ridwan, but it just slides down the inside.
And straight through.
Into the lead.
Actually, I think we missed Ridwan moving up in the second as well. I swear Stingray was ahead of him. Ridwan, lap 14, really decided to capitalise on it. Yeah. Maybe he was able to awaken the soft compound tyre. Ridwan leads for the first time tonight.
He's not a triple champion for nothing. He's making the most of his tyres.
Yeah, triple drivers champion, triple Enduro Cup winner. If anyone knows how to win races and Enduros in particular, it is that man. And he's actually pulling away from BK, leading me to believe.
Chicane as well.
Yeah,
that right rear tyre really suffering on that Supra now. Could that be the reason BK's so slow right now?
Potentially. Stingray and Dynamite coming in.
Actually, 1 litre of fuel, as is Dynamite. Soft run is extending for at least 1 more lap.
Yeah, they'd be trying to make the most of their soft compound.
The question is now, when did BK and Ridwan use those medium tyres? Do they save it or do they use it on the next stint?
That will be interesting to note. And we'll see. We'll keep an eye on Stingray. We'll see if he comes out in front. Oh, Lane's in as well. This might be the first time. Might be the first time all season where we're talking about it. We're talking about a race, and we're not really talking about Lane because unfortunately he's a lot further back than what we'd normally
expect. Of his own
expect.
back there, having a quiet race.
Yeah, and
Once you lose a train, there's not much you can do from there, and he's sort of suffering for it.
actually looking at the time board, Viper's already through.
As is Blocky.
As is Blocky.
Macy Curving and Lunacy Fire, they do.
Yeah, so the undercuts worked there. Almost as expected,
so.
though. So I think
Well, yeah,
they'll
they've
rejoin
had,
in
4
P11 and
laps
P12.
earlier. They should do. His bent stick is wee ways behind back as chicane. Just behind Savage Duck. And very close to each other as well.
A little bit too close for comfort potentially there. So Lane's going to rejoin in 13th.
In a world of his own, really. Nothing much going on there. Same for Jamo. Back at the front. Red One gapping BK at the moment.
That's a half-second penalty, though.
That could hurt in terms of the undercut to Stingray and Dynamite, whether they come out in front or not.
Yeah, it really could. We'll see if he pits. See if him or BK pits. Red One's opts to
One
stay
more.
out.
BK goes in though.
BK opts to come in.
That right rear tyre can't take any more. Does Bodhide go in? The fuel suggests probably. Oh, he might do one more. And he does. One more time for Bodhide.
Yeah, Prezzo brings the 5 in though. Orphan drop. Looking at that fuel.
He'll have to pit. There's not enough in the tank there. He'll be coming in this time for a set of softs, presumably enough. Running it right to the limit on the field, as is BK. Where do they come out in relation to those 3 stoppers, though?
Well, I would imagine Viper already rejoined this far ahead, so Viper should retake the lead once the pit stops are all said and done. Lunacy still leads Curving Texas. Savage Duck has a train of his own. Look at this.
Dynamite trying to move on Stingray, but just running out of road there. Going to possibly 3 wide and that pushes Stingray past. Will he go for the move into 1 though? Thinking about it, thinks better of it, backs off for now.
He does back off for now.
Stingray's wide though, no, holds it together.
BK's pit stop's done.
They're right there, they're ahead. Stingray and Dynamite are in front. And Savage Duck down the inside of BK. Oh,
big send by the 96. Well. And fair play to him.
In between BK and those two. Yeah, full position. Making the most of it. But BK has to clear him quickly to stay with Dynamite and Stingray now.
Oh yeah, he knows that. So. He's going for it. Savage Duck
right
on
down the inside.
Yeah, Savage Duck on those worn mediums versus BK on a fresh set of softs.
Making quick work. Not using the mediums. Has Ridwan used them?
Well, Ridwan's in now.
What tyres does he pick the mediums, or will he stick with the saucer one more? So Bodhide is out of fuel towards the pit entry here.
So he's going to limp that car in. So Viper Z will be back in the lead after a 5-lap period being out of the lead after making the earlier pit stop. Blocky Rex, he'll take 2nd place. Lunacy will take 3rd. Curving Texas will take 4th. But will it be Stingray in 5th or will it be Ridwan in 5th? That's the question we've got to ask.
With the fuel discrepancy, possibly Ridwan, but we shall see.
As Viper Z, we can see it on the leaderboard. Takes the lead. He leads those 2 stoppers.
Curving and Lunacy through as well. Ridwan's still sitting in the box. Takes an age with our refueling rate we now have. 3 litres a second, I believe it is.
Yeah, so to get a full tank, you gotta fill up for 33 seconds.
Feels like an age while you're in the pit lane, and just ahead of Dynamite and Stingray. They're right there.
That's
defense
big.
To the inside.
And he's on the softs again as well. So BK and Ridwan going to be ending this race on the mediums.
That could be crucial in terms of the outright result, whether that affects their pace towards the end or not.
It really could, as the
Ridwan's wide. Ooh. Does Stingray get the move done or not? No, he backs off and lets Ridwan back through, interestingly.
Maybe thinks better of it. Obviously, these 2 stoppers, they know that their pace still has to be strong and consistent because
Otherwise, those three stoppers, I'll get them. I'll creep
exactly.
up on them.
One interesting thing to note though, so there's there's well the top eight, half of them are on the two stop, half of them are on the three stop. The guys who are on the three stop, as Dynamite actually, he's going to slingshot past. So he's
Yeah,
he's going to go to the inside as well.
Good to them both.
The double.
Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Easy as you like.
Yeah, you know, Dynamite, he's normally quite passive. He likes to try and calculate moves, you know, a few corners or a few laps before that happens. He was pretty passive in that opening stint, Blocky, but he saw the opportunity. Now that he's on the soft compounded tyre, and look at that.
He is off to the races. Can he get Red One and Stingray now and pull away? And can BK pass them both in as quick time as Dynamite just has done?
Yeah, I think if you're BK, you've got to try it. Because if we saw it at Le Mans when they worked together, and we're predicting it might happen as well. If BK and Dynamite are able to break away in their own tow, I'm not sure any other team has the car performance to be able to stop that. And Red One running wide isn't going to help.
Stingray gets the run. This means they've pretty much lost toe to Dynamite now, near enough. Stingray gets it through on Red One for P6 provisionally. Red One looking back up the inside, runs slightly wide though. Does BK have a look now? No, he doesn't. Status quo remains, but Dynamite is running away here. Can Stingray and Red One keep up with him?
Yeah, as the sun is starting to come down as well, Blocky. So obviously, once that sun comes down, the track temperature is going to drop a little bit, which could give these drivers a little bit more life in the second stint compared to the first. And the day-night cycle, it truly is beautiful.
Daytona looking wonderful at this time of day. The lights should be coming on shortly, if they're not already.
Yeah, as Red One being quite cautious there, maybe trying to get a stronger exit on the chicane. As if you're Stingray and Red One, you've really got to try and keep those two Supras separated.
You got to push each other to catch Dynamite, but also slip between each other so BK doesn't get through. It's a hard balancing act they're trying to pull off here.
It is, and another thing that I want to bring up. So the two stop versus the three stop. The top eight are like this current top eight. They're in quite strong contention. An interesting thing to note is all of the two stoppers, all four of them, are all together in one train. So those four can work together, as BK's actually slipped down the inside of Red One as this is all happening. So these four can all work together. However, with all the three stoppers, Viper, Lunacy, Blocky and Tex, you can see it on the map, they're all separated. So those four can't actually work together.
Are together, but the other two are separated by...
No, Lunacy's gapped him. In that last lap, Lunacy's actually set the fastest lap of the race. And on that fastest lap, he went 1.3 seconds faster. So Tex struggling a little bit, and yeah, I think that these two stoppers in a train like this working together, they'll be faster than those three stoppers who are driving around on their own.
Not faster per se, but they will have a pace benefit helping each other, as they are trying to save fuel and tyres. So the pace differential will be smaller than it would be if they were on their own.
Yeah, which really could play into the hands of these four right here.
Particularly when we come to the final stint with BK and Red One on those mediums, on it as much time as they can get. So those three stoppers especially, as well as Stingray and Dynamite, who will be on soft tyres at the end.
Yeah, so this really is a crucial stint for BK and Red One. They are the third and fourth cars in this train. Ideally for them, they want to get out to be first and second, as Red One actually, he's starting to lose ground.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a small mistake on the oval and he's just lost a bit of momentum as BK slides through on Stingray.
And Dynamite as well drops down to the inside line to try and give BK a little bit of an assist. So now this is
for it around the outside.
This is what Stingray would have been fearing. Those two Supras now working together.
That one's wide as well, into the marbles. Now he's for sure out of tow. But this is the worst case scenario for Stingray and Red One, having those two Supras be nose to tail together.
It really could be, and you know what, Blocky? There's one team this season yet to win a race, and it is Kennedy Motorsport. Could today finally be the day, because remember, that top four have 2 stops remaining. 5th through 8th have 1 stop remaining. So at the
That is
moment,
true.
theoretically, they are sitting in a 1-2.
On track it is 1-2, and it's looking quite good for them, for at least one of them to win the race, because they can't both win.
Obviously, they can't both win, but for either one of them, really. Dynamite heading into this one is 2nd in the Enduro Cup after finishing 3rd at Le Mans and 5th at the Nürburgring.
With
A very
Red One's technical gremlins at Nürburgring dropping him from 2nd to 13th at the end there, really hurting his chances in this Enduro Cup.
yeah, they really
bounce
are.
back for the win here though to bolster his chances, particularly with Lane down the order today. This could be a real chance for him to get back into not only the championship fight but the Enduro Cup as well.
Yeah, so the Stone Tails in 9th, Bottle in 10th, Lane Everingham in 11th, and they're all just a little bit too far away, and you can see Orphan drop in the background as well. And Jamo and Bentstick. I thought it was 2 cup. Well, yeah. A little bit too far separated for anything significant to be done, and we've just caught it in the background there. They've swapped the
BK
Toyotas
on
around,
Dynamite.
as BK has set the fastest lap of the race. So maybe that was a smart tactical decision there to swap those 2 Toyotas around.
Has that come from the higher ups, or is that Dynamite's letting BK through? Guess we won't know.
Well, we've
But for
seen
now,
in the
BK
past that
trucking on the
Dynamite
way.
is a little bit more comfortable following. If you remember back to Le Mans when BK was the lead car, when BK and Dynamite tried pushing through the field when they did the extra pit stop.
Yeah, Dynamite seems to be more consistent following with a car in front to mark with, especially with it being the same car. Does make
Yeah.
it quite easy.
And I think just over the course of the season, I think BK has looked a little bit faster than Dynamite, but for the most part, they still have been relatively even amongst them.
Just been seeming to get more pace out of it on a consistent basis.
So we'll see now if Stingray can try to hold on. Ridwan, you can see it there. He has completely lost out. On that last lap,
247s is really struggling.
yeah, so on lap 20, the lap where BK set his fastest lap, he went 2.2 seconds faster than Ridwan. So Ridwan really struggling in a crucial stint because he's yet to go on the mediums. The Stone Tail in 9th, Botthod rounding out your top 10, Lane Everingham. You know what?
P11.
He's not having a good night out. But if you want to look at the positive, at least Ridwan's struggling too. Nowhere near as much, but at least Ridwan's not having it easy either. This could...
No, he's certainly not having it his own way. He's not pulling away out in front with almost certain victory. He's having to do it the hard way. Is Lane getting a good run on Bodhood here? We could see a pass onto the oval, particularly once that Subaru spools up. It's very quick in a straight line.
Yeah, these cars look absolutely beautiful under lights. As the sun's come down, the floodlights are on.
Sun comes down, the pace goes up, especially with that 45.5 from BK.
It is faster than the 45.9 that Lunacy set for his pole time, that is for sure. Lane looking for it, but he's decided that sitting behind Bothod's the right move for now. Oh no, Bothod's made a mistake!
Oh, he's hit has he hit the inside tyre barrier there?
I think he has. We'll get it. We'll get an onboard of that.
That was very odd. They must have just felt pressure from Lane and turned in slightly early.
Yep.
Did he cop a bump from Lane on the entry there, or was that just...
I'm not sure, but Lane escapes that unscathed. Bodhod's car's going to be ailing for a little bit. This actually could allow Orphan Drop to catch up, and maybe those two Mercs can work together to try and salvage something. They are 11th and 12th currently.
Halfway point in the race now, lap 22. It should be the lap we see the three stoppers come in for the second time.
Yeah, so this pit stop will actually tell us where Viper stands in terms of those two stoppers.
In relation to the other four on the two stop, yes.
And he's actually going purple as well.
It's hauling. Shame that the lap does not end before the pit entry line.
Yeah, and you look at the gap. BK's actually gapped Dynamite quite nicely here, and that same
Dynamite
gap to
might be out of
Stingray.
tow there. I think Stingray's slightly closer to Dynamite than Dynamite is to BK, but with the straight line speed of the Super, he won't be able to get much closer.
Yeah, so Viper's in as predicted. And so's Blocky.
Blocky and curving Lunacy should follow in quick time. Blocky follows. Where are they going to come out in relation? Obviously, having the fuel slightly less than the two stoppers, not having the full tank it, with it being running less laps. However, BK has already passed them all, and Viper has not even started refueling yet, which means the gap is looking quite large to this point. So it means Viper has some heavy amounts of work to do to get back in this race and try and win the thing.
Yeah.
But it will be quicker, so.
Yeah, Viper will have more luxury to push because there's going to be shorter stints to worry about. The medium tyre stint is already done for the day as well. The Stone Towel actually could actually be in 5th. We were talking about how, the top 4, but I think we forgot to mention those guys that were a little bit further back because the Stone Tower's rejoined in 5th. We could see Lane in 6th here. As Viper's ahead, he's coming out the pits now, and he's come out ahead of Bottas. So Viper, he's provisionally 7th. So it's going to be a massive second half of the race here for Viper.
Got to get his head down and get to trucking some low 45s if he wants any chance of winning this race from here.
Yeah, so Blocky's coming out in 11th behind Jamo. So it's another Soper that Blocky's... It's a Soper that Blocky's stuck behind.
That could be a hard pass considering Blocky will be faster in the infield, but on the straight line Jamo just has the outright pace to stay in front.
Yeah, that's 12th and 13th.
Further back. The Savage Duck and Bent Stick having their own little battle back there. Back at the front, Dynamite looks to close in on BK just a little bit now, and is definitely back in tow to this point. Stingray holding on nicely. Rib1 seems to have stabilised his pace, and is there or thereabouts now. But
still lapping about 4 to 5 tenths slower, obviously without the benefit of the slipstream. So Ridwan's just going to have to try and drive as fast as he can. Possibly the first time this season where Ridwan not looking like the favourite to win this one, but you know what? 21 laps to go. Anything can happen.
All to play for. Slightly wide from Stinger there onto the grass on the exit. That could lose him toe to the two Sopras.
I think he's already lost it.
And he has, unless he has a phenomenal infield here and catches back up, which isn't looking too likely.
No, not at
Those
all.
Supras could be checked out and done for the race, unless Ridwan and Stingray work together to catch back up to them. All over the back of BK here, looking slightly faster at the moment, unless BK is conserving.
Yeah, BK has gone through his tyres a little bit more.
BK does have more fuel though, which could help him at the other end of the stint.
It could, and I saw something interesting happening in the background. I did catch a Porsche in the background there. It looks like Blocky's not going to get that move done on Jamo. And Viper's not too far behind Lane either. So Lane could be under fire shortly from Viper. And we're talking about damage control races. Lane's provisionally in 6th.
We'll have to see where the three stoppers filter out, but it's not looking as bad as initially suspected for Lane, as Dynamite has a small look into the chicane. Gets a much better exit. It could be done before we even get onto the oval. BK half-second penalty.
Yeah,
that brings
so
Stingray right back into this.
Yeah, so we're hearing now actually there was actually contact between the 11 and the 29.
Is it on the way in?
On the way in, yeah. So that's gonna drop BK back down to 3rd. Dynamite should take the lead in this one.
Stingray around the outside though, not making him work for it. Thinks better of it with the straight line speed of the Supra. Does he go for it into the turn 1? Don't believe so, no.
No. So Dynamite's gonna continue to lead this one. Stingray in 2nd. BK's now back into 3rd. I imagine
could be Red One saving grace with having those two Supras be split just for now.
It
he needs
could
to make hay on this lap and catch back up into that toe. Dynamite slightly wide there. Stingray having a little look, but Lane being passed by Viper pretty comfortably before the braking zone of the first corner, making hay with those fresh softs.
Yeah,
next target will be Prezzo.
Yeah, and Viper's looking quick today anyway. So it will be interesting to see how much time Viper can gain if he can actually catch up to that top 5 or not. It'll be interesting though, what's BK's play going to be here? We've seen him overtake cars before the chicane, we've seen him do it after the chicane. But with Stingray and Dynamite's toe, it won't be easy for BK.
He's in the toe, but he also will have understeer heavily through a chicane, so BK could make a play for the exit and slingshot past him with Dynamite's help moving over and giving him toe. We'll see though.
We will see. Is the top
BK very
four?
close to the back of Stingray on the way in. Much better exit on
Oh,
the
yeah, that's a
way out.
beautiful exit. Dynamite's got a half
Dynamite
second
got a
penalty.
penalty though. So the Supras may still be
And
split
Dynamite's
here, but
moved to
the
the
other
high
way
line.
around.
It's going to be three
Three
wide.
wide.
BK's gone through the middle. He's threaded the needle.
Split the pair of them. Dynamite will serve that penalty, which means the Supras are split, but the other way around with BK leading the end of this lap. Stingray still in second. And this is all helping Red One catch right back up.
It is. He's a lot
they're on
closer
their
now than what he
now.
was before. He's gone 1.3 seconds faster that lap than Dynamite. It's like Red One's sitting there. He's twiddling his thumbs. He's
tripping over themselves, giving Red One a free pass back into this race, which is not something you want to do.
no. This really could be huge for the race and the championship because Red One. Remember, this is the battle for the race lead. And
This could be
Lane
massive.
struggling in 7th.
This could vault Red One back to the title lead if he finishes high enough, and Lane stays down there, pending the three stoppers results. After the horrific round he had in Nürburgring, this could be exactly what Red One needs to launch himself back into this title fight properly.
Yeah, that's exactly it. As Dynamite's lost a little bit of ground there, but I mean,
Stingray in BK's toe, which will help slightly compared to the secret behind him. Got a great run actually. Will he pass him into the chicane? Will he think better of it?
I think he's going to think better on it because I think Stingray knows that if he overtakes BK will just go for the move again on him, just wasting everyone, just basically rendering the move obsolete. As Dynamite's had a wicked chicane.
He has. Stingray lifting off has given him a poor run with the understeer, and Dynamite is looking all around to try and get past Stingray. It shouldn't be too difficult, even with the toe from the Supra ahead, which is distant at this point. Wonder if BK will move over and give Dynamite toe.
Yeah, we've seen BK and Dynamite do it for each other throughout this race.
BK holding line as Dynamite is holding position for now. Will he look to make the move into the first corner? No, he does not.
So Dynamite's going to sit in 3rd for now. Stingray catching up again to BK. So that top 3. They're scrapping out a little bit.
Together.
Red One lapped a 10th faster than BK, so Red One slowly but surely trying to catch up. Prezzo's in 5th. Viper has built a massive gap to Lane. In that last lap alone, 2 seconds faster. So who knows what's going on in the Team Max Speed garage?
That Subaru is just not hooked up today. They might have got the setup slightly wrong and the engine tuning and whatnot, and it's just really hindering them pace-wise.
Maybe it was more of a qualifying car today, who knows? So he's in 7th.
Could have been.
And, yeah, Lunacy's down in 13th.
Yeah, Lunacy not quite making the 3-stop work as well as the other 2 Revos.
Yeah, there's a 1 minute 55 there on lap 24. There's a 1 minute 55 on lap 24, so maybe there was an earlier off for Lunacy. So not a good day so far for Team Max Speed. And remember, Team Max Speed, your current team's championship leaders.
Well, with FP having 2 cars in the top 5 right now, this could be a major swing in terms of that championship fight as well.
It really could.
Red One getting ever closer to those front 3, just chipping away at it, lap by lap. He may run out of laps in this stint to catch back up though, especially with going onto those mediums in the final stint. He really needs to get there now.
Yeah, so 15 laps to go. Who do we think is in the box seat to win this race? Because I think it could be Dynamite.
Those Supras are looking quite strong. BK's fuel position is very strong, especially compared to Stingray's, who's looking very iffy in terms of his fuel numbers.
Yeah,
so that may hinder him at the other end.
It is looking a bit iffy. I think that, they've shown it. Kennedy Motorsport have the fastest race car today. As Viper Z, fastest lap of the race, and an overtake into P5. We'll get a replay on that one. So he's just had the toe on Prezzo. An easy slipstream move there, and that's your fastest lap of the race.
Prezzo not making it too difficult for him. Slots back in, and that is P5 for Viper.
Yeah, well, they're both coming up to the... Well, Prezzo's a lot closer to the end of his stint than what Viper is. I think the Stonetail knows that he is going to be undercutting Viper Maybe wants just to try and stick with him and then try and pull off the undercut a little bit later on in a few laps' time.
That could be the plan. Might be helping save some fuel while he's still there as well. Stingray all over the back of BK onto the oval here. Will he make the move, or will he sit once again and try and save some fuel, which he desperately needs in relation to those Supras in particular? Short shifting like a maniac to try and save some fuel back. This could cost him this race, because him and Dynamite are both going onto more soft tyres, which gives them an advantage, but the fuel could backfire on Stingray here at some point.
Yeah, it could. Looking at that fuel gauge, it might be time. It might be time for Stingray to come in.
At the next lap at the latest, I suspect.
Yeah, I reckon Dynamite probably comes in car 29, pitting on lap 29 would be my prediction there. Is Stingray going to bring it in, or is he going to stick out one more lap? One more lap.
He's in the tow, so one more might be possible, but he's really going to be stretching this.
Yeah, as the pace has dropped off a little bit.
Into the mid 46s now with those tyres wearing.
Red Wine's still chipping away.
Mid 45s at this point, I believe, is hauling towards.
Yeah, he's completely dropped Prezzo.
Yeah, it's not the outright pace of Prezzo today. Just hasn't been there quite.
No, not at all.
But could play back into it on strategy. We shall see.
So back to the original question. Who do you think's in the box seat to win from here? I predicted Dynamite.
I think that's a decent shout. Looking at Stingray's fuel position, and with BK and Red Wine going onto the mediums, I reckon Dynamite has a phenomenal shot at this.
And it would be his first race win since the Season 7 250km of Le Mans.
It's a long wait for a win. Season and a half, give or take. It would be his second win in P1, would it not?
It'd be his third. He won 2 races in Season 7. And if BK were to win, it'd also be his third in Project 1. His last win came at St. Croix back in Season 6. So a little bit longer of a wait.
Very frequently.
Yeah, and Stingray and Riverwine, they have had the mammoth wait of a week.
Yeah, it must be real tough for them.
Well, actually,
waiting so long to get another
no,
one.
sorry. Stingray's was last week at Watkins Glen in the sprint race. Redwine's last win was actually round 6 back at Deep Forest. So it's been 3 weeks since we've seen car 14. Speaking of car 14,
for Red One,
he's overtaken Dynamite.
And Stingray is running it on fumes into the pit lane here. Ran out of fuel on the way in, I believe, which could cost him in the grand scheme of things.
It's going to be a race-critical pit stop.
15-lap stint for that Mercedes is going to be a mammoth effort, particularly the way Stingray drives it.
Yeah, well, he already did a 15-lap stint earlier. That was his second stint, remember, pit on lap 14 and then 29. And, yeah, Red One, he's up in the second. So he got the move done on Dynamite that he needed to get done on that last lap. I don't know what happened to Dynamite, but Red One was 2.3 seconds faster.
Yeah, there could be a penalty involved or a mistake or both, but Red One is now ahead and Dynamite has got a fair bit of work to do actually to get back up to BK. Will have the advantage putting onto some fresh set of softs though, which could play him back in pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I would predict BK and Dynamite definitely come in. Red One has the fuel in his back pocket to stay out even longer, and if you Red One, you might as well, because this is his last stint on the soft tyres. Make the most of that fresh tyre compound while you can. So Viper's up in the 4th now because of that pit stop. Blocky's in 5th. Actually, the Stone Tower's boarded in as well, and so is Lane and Jamo.
Blocky's on the fastest lap as well, 45.1.
Yeah, 45.1. And yeah,
there was some slipstream involved.
Yeah, he's overtaken the Present Engineering boys in the process. So he's pushing really strong.
Mighty quick from those Brevos, but is the 3-stop too much to overcome regardless of the pace difference?
So BK's bringing it in.
Coasting it in.
Red One opts to stay out. And Dynamite, who's fallen a long way back actually.
I think he's run out earlier down the straight.
I think so.
His speed there.
So that could cost him.
Really making it much harder for himself than it has to be to win this race in the last couple laps.
So this will be a
That could
crucial
be
pit
part of
stop.
the reason for his drop off in pace. Could be fuel saving to make it, but who knows?
So we'll have to see. We're right on board with Stingray. We need to see where BK comes out in relation to Stingray.
Well, Stingray is right behind Lunacy, I believe, which means this three stop is not working for him
No, not at
in the
all.
slightest. If Stingray has come out already and Lunacy has to pit one more time, that's also right for Lunacy in terms of his a win today anyway.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked. So yeah, maybe Team Max Speed, they really just have a qualifying car, not a race car, by the looks of it. Stingray coming around turn 1 now.
BK exiting the pit lane on his medium tyres. Is he going to be ahead here?
He will.
He is. Crucial.
And the lap car of Bent Stick separates them. Obviously, obviously the lap car won't play too much of a factor. However, it is an added obstacle that BK doesn't have to deal with.
Anything helps with BK at this point on those medium tyres. Anything to separate him from those soft runners behind him.
Yeah, so Dynamite has lost a lot of time, so he's going to need a mammoth last stint to try and catch back up.
Now, where does Ridwan come out in all of this?
Yeah, he's
Fires
in.
it into the pit lane. Will be a short fill for Ridwan as opposed to the full tanks of the other three. This could play him in.
Yeah, Ridwan has been able to stretch out his stints a lot longer than the 3 cars he's been battling for this race win.
Is that Viper gunning past the finish line?
Yes, it is.
So Viper into the lead for now, but one more stop to go for the 3 Rebos and Lunacy. Which means they shouldn't end up there after the pit stops, we'll see though. Bodhod in the lane as well.
For the final
For
time.
his final stop. How much fuel does Red One put in here and where does it put him out?
You know, this FP Racing crew, they're a championship winning team when it comes to Ridwan. 3 championships. They know how to win.
The
And
elusive team's title still missing, however, but this could be the season.
it could be the season. But yeah,
This is their year.
in situations like this, Ridwan knows how to win. And he's come out in the lead.
He is ahead by a couple seconds actually, which means BK won't have tow immediately.
The overcut has worked.
The short fill has worked, but will this mean he has to save at the other end? I wonder.
Perhaps.
Could he have put another lap or so of fuel in and still come out in front? I'm not quite sure. It would have been close.
I think he probably still could have come out in front, but critically, he needed to make sure he was out of slipstream range. Otherwise, he would have been battling BK for this entire final stint. So, a perfect pit stop there from FP Racing. And
Championship pit crew executing again.
it's
Can
a
Ridwan hold
championship.
on to this?
Yeah, it's a championship winning pit crew. And you know
Championship
what?
winning car.
I don't think Ridwan has not looked like the fastest driver all day, but it's just consistency. And it's just that winning pedigree that's put Ridwan. Obviously, Viper's yet the pit, so we don't know where he's going to come out. But this is what we believe to be, provisionally, the race lead.
Yeah, this is what Red One does. This is why he's a 3-time champion. Looking for his 4th in a row, as he didn't drive in season 7. But this is what he does. He knows how to win in these situations, and he's done this before. BK, not a serial winner, as neither is Red One. Not a Red One, Dynamite. Sorry. But could their car and their pace today change that? And could they topple the undefeatable?
Yeah, as Kirby Texas his pace has actually dropped off quite a fair bit. Lunacy starting to find that pace they had in qualifying again.
Lunacy catching back up after the supposed mistake we didn't catch earlier.
So this could be one. This could be one to keep an eye on, Blocky. A little bit later on, Viper Z and Blocky on their own. This is the lap that we predict these 3 stoppers to make their final stop.
This will be the one for another set of soft tyres, I believe, for all 4 of them. Where do they come out, particularly Viper, in relation to Red One and BK?
Yeah, I think Blocky Tex and Lunacy. I think they're all too far behind. I think the only three stopper that has any chance is going to be Viper's Ed. Said it at the start of the broadcast. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. 3 second place finishes in a row. Could he break that duck today?
Well, he's certainly not for lack of trying, as he pits for the final time in this race. Will be a short fill, as that Porsche is quite good on its fuel. Be a short fill for all three of them. But where is Red One? Where does he come out? As he's coming around the final corner onto the tri-oval. Viper's still not in the box. He's going to be a fair way behind here.
It's got to be the most important pit stop for Revo Satellite Racing.
Tyres on, just waiting for fuel. It's going to feel like an eternity while you sit in the car.
Yeah, Viper's Ed taking over Tim's pit crew tonight.
Red One through the finish line and into the first corner, as is BK, Stingray and Dynamite. And Viper is going to be a fair way behind all four of them. I think he's too far gone. This is going to be a mammoth effort if he wins from here.
Yeah, it's a big refueling job here. And yeah, there's Dynamite right there in the distance.
Dynamite is right there. Can he latch onto him and launch himself towards Stingray, BK and Red One? We will see. Where's Blocky come out in relation? Ahead of Prezzo and a fair way back from Viper in his own little planet. That could be where he ends up today. It could be all the maximum.
So Lane, Viper has a big race ahead of him. Tex has finished his pit stop. And he's come out in 11th. And there's Lunacy behind in 12th.
Lunacy in 12th from pole position. The 3-stop just has not worked for those two today.
No, they have not had the pace to pull it off. Lane Everingham in 9th. Leeds, Orphan Drop in 10th. Bottom in 8th. The Stones Hell in 7th. Blocky Rex in 6th. Dynamite too far behind Stingray. Way too far behind Stingray to get anything done.
What's happened to Dynamite? It's just his pace is sort of... No, it's been alright. It's just the laps pre-pit stop have really hit Dynamite here. And
that second stint, he didn't. It wasn't a strong end to that stint. And it has not done Dynamite any favours. And you know what? Viper and Blocky, they looked very, very quick. Being on
all day.
The more aggressive strategy.
I
reckon Dynamite's got to watch out.
He does, particularly as he won't be able to push quite as hard. There's more leniency in this stint for Dynamite, but not as much as those two Revos will have behind him. Particularly on fuel and tyres, as there is a 3-lap difference. Yeah, 3-lap difference. Or 4 laps even, actually.
Dynamite came in on lap 30 with BK.
30, so 3 laps difference. Is that the difference between Dynamite finishing 4th and 5th? Is that the tyre wear and fuel difference? Is that going to be the one? Savage stuck between him and some clear air. But after that, there is a fair chunk of space for him to work with. Can he pull this 4th place off? Slightly wide there, actually.
Savage Duck letting him through. Obeying the blue flags to a T.
Viper slightly wide.
And we'll try to find a battle a little bit further down the field. This battle for 9th could be the one.
To brew something up, yeah.
Yeah, Lane Everingham.
Catch up to the back of this.
Lane Everingham, we haven't seen him much since his jump start.
Incident, yeah. He's having a real quiet day. It's damage control really for Lane today. Still tracking on P9. It's not the worst result, but he obviously would have been hoping for better, and it really hasn't. He's been having his hand tied since the start. Can he latch onto Bodhod and take P8, which is probably the maximum for him today?
Yeah, probably is the maximum. We did predict, well, it was possible that Lane could have secured the Enduro Cup today with another win after winning the first 2 Enduros. That's not going to happen tonight.
If he wins from here, he has done a worldie of a job.
But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Red One, he hasn't been the fastest car at all today by any means. He's just been consistent, and
He's just been there or thereabouts. That's all you need to be.
Their championship-winning drives, what Red One is putting up tonight. But Lane Everingham, it's been damage control. He's going to try and get 8th, but he has 2 Mercs to deal with. And Orphan Drop, these two were teammates last season. They fought for a title last season. And they're going to be side by side. And Bothod's given Orphan Drop a toe.
Don't think there's any bad blood there, but Jack will certainly want to finish in front of his old boss and his new team. However, Lane holding on for now. It should also be better in the first sector in that Subaru. Jack having a look again though, sticks the nose in. Lane gives him plenty of room and gets run wide on the exit. Holds on to it though, stays P9, just about.
Yeah, you can see in the background as well, Lunacy and Tex. They're battling for 11th, so Lunacy's overtaken Tex at some point. But Orphan dropped down the inside.
Fires down the inside, slightly wide though. Lane for the switchback.
Oh, slightly loose.
Can't quite get it done. Jack takes P9. Bothold looking the slowest out of the 3 though. They could both get him.
Oh yeah, that last lap, lap 35. Orphan drop 1.2 seconds faster.
Bothold's on the mediums, that would explain it. He's saved his mediums to the last stint.
Ah yes.
Could backfire on him here.
Well, Bodhod, he's a great endurance driver. 3-time Enduro Cup winner. There's only 3 drivers have won the Enduro Cup in Project 1, and Bodhod is responsible for 3 of them. So he knows how to do well in situations like this. Can he hold off?
Hasn't quite had the pace all season in that Mercedes. Hasn't really found the way to make it click like Stingray has.
It looks like they're swapping the cars around as well.
Smart. Lose less time that way, and Bothold can hopefully push Jack and keep him ahead of Lane. I was looking to get some form of
Lane's slipping down the inside as well.
Lane making quick work of it, but Jack will block the inside to keep him from passing him, or very slow on the apex here actually. But that is a swap for 9th. Bodhob will probably fall away now. That could be the max for him.
There's Dynamite. Oh, very similar pace to Viper. So Viper, yeah. The extra pit stop just not working for him at the moment.
Not for lack of trying or going slowly, it's just the extra time in the lane was too much to overcome for all 3 of those Bravo cars.
Yeah.
Particularly Lunacy and Curving.
The top 7 really has stabilised here.
Not much going on at the moment. Don't know if there's much happening at the front. Looks like there's just stable gaps of 1 and a bit seconds, 2 seconds between all 3-4 of them at the moment.
Yeah, I think the battle for 8th and the battle for 11th is what is going to send us home. As Orphan drop.
Pulling away from Lane here actually. Now onto the oval. Made much better work of the infield than Lane did on this time by.
Yeah, Lane's dropping off a little bit.
PB. This could also be a championship drive from Lane in terms of recovery and making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, a little bit of damage control.
He gets here could, any extra points he gets could and will help him at the other end of the championship in just 3 weeks at Fuji.
Exactly.
Any points he gets now are valuable, especially with Red One being in the lead at this point.
Yeah, his Orphan drop really gapping away there. We'll get these lap times when they cross.
46.7 from Jack.
So yeah, Jack's gone a second faster. I think Orphan. Yeah. I don't know what's happened to Lane today.
Having an off day, it seems.
Really is just a bit of damage control. Lunacy and Tex though, they are lapping a lot faster. So these two, I reckon they might be able to catch up.
They can get 3 of them, particularly Bodhod being on those mediums. But yeah, they are looking quick and looking for positions after.
Oh, that's Jamo!
Jamo around. Has he hit the tyre barrier at turn 1 as well?
Yeah, that's not ideal at all. We'll get an onboard of that. On board here with Jamo.
Into the braking zone. Just turned into
the back end clipped it.
The rear left has clipped the wall and sent him round.
Able to get going again quite quickly though. Fortunately,
large gap to the car behind, so that shouldn't affect them too much in the grand scheme of things.
Something's happened to BK because Stingray's right behind him.
I don't know if something's happened or the mediums are just slower than the softs to this point. 1 second
He's lost a
Yeah,
second in
that's a
the last
mistake on
lap,
the
and he's
infield actually, or it could be a penalty that we didn't see. 47-1 2 laps prior as well. Just
a
the
little bit
mediums aren't quite
inconsistent on the
there.
mediums, and Stingray on the softs. This could open it up for a second place finish here. We'll get the
It could be
comparison.
on,
6 tenths faster Stingray is.
but Stingray's fuel is looking very touch and go.
Yeah, less than the car ahead of him, less than the car
Much
behind
less.
him. As Viper Z, 45.8. He's faster, a lot faster
He
than
is
any of the cars
hauling.
ahead. As he had
Well,
Dynamite there in fourth.
the
He's
three
chipping away
ahead
really quickly as well. So Dynamite, if he can keep chipping away,
46.
he might be able to get a podium here.
Podium is certainly not out of the question for Dynamite if he just keeps on keeping on here. But Viper is coming, and they could all converge here at the end. But the Viper is running out of laps, and quickly. Red1 just holding there about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of BK. Not cruising, but doing what he does best. Controlling the race from there. Big slide
Yeah.
from Stingray.
Yeah, Ridwan really just controlling the pace. 5.5 laps to go. He hasn't looked like the fastest guy all day, but it is just, class of the field really. It is just
A
another
champion's
day at the
drive.
office.
Yeah, does it on the frequent. There's challenges step up, and he just knocks them all down. And
Yeah, with Lane in ninth.
looking for his 4th title on the spin. Can anyone stop him? It's a real question.
Yeah, Blocky on purple there, as he's lapping Savage Duck. But yeah, our live championship standings. As things stand, Ridwan will reclaim the championship lead if they were to stay in first and ninth. So Lane, he's going to have to try as hard as he can.
Is he dropping back from Jack, or is he?
Got quite a fair bit.
Yeah, the pace just hasn't been there for him today. Jack is in the low 46s. He is going after his brother like a man on a mission. How fast is he going in comparison to his 4/10 the lap before? But the previous lap before did a 48, which is not going to help him in the grand scheme of things.
Not at all, no.
These three sort of just holding station, 2 through 4, waiting for something to happen, particularly in the case of Stingray and Dynamite. BK just enough pace to stay in front here, and the straight line speed will help if Stingray gets close.
Yeah, one thing to note as well, BK's pulled out a 46.1 on the mediums.
Yeah, the nighttime conditions in the cooler track definitely helping, particularly with the less tyre wear on the mediums as well. Will be for sure helping in terms of that, but great pace on the mediums from BK in particular, and Red1, of course.
Yeah, the car
Yeah,
is just starting to come alive again, and at a crucial time, as soon as Stingray is right behind him.
All 3 of them did a 46.1 last time by, as did Viper actually. All 4 of them a 46.1 on the last time through.
Yeah, so they're all slowly 8 tenths faster than Ridwan. I think Ridwan has enough of a gap to.
I think Red1 has backed it off and is saving fuel with his short fill. He might need just a little bit to make it home, but with the gap, it should be pretty comfortable for him to just.
Yeah, there's no
That's
harm
right.
in doing so.
As long as he keeps BK at arm's length out of that toe, he should be all right from here.
Yeah,
But
so
the
as
second
soon
through
as
fourth
BK
is
gets in the
looking-
toe, could be game over.
Another 46.1 from BK. Mr. Consistent at the moment.
Compared to a
46.8
46.8.
from Red1 that time by. He's definitely backing it off now. Just making sure it gets home. Stingray looks like he's not closing at all. Does it get
Nah, he's
to
lost time,
46.4?
actually.
3/10, yeah. Tyres are just starting to see their best now, and I wonder if that fuel is catching up with him and he's starting to save as well. Dynamite is just sort of opportunity gone missing for him, really. It was in a phenomenal spot to win the race at the end of the second stint, but dropped it with 2 to go.
Yeah,
really recovered it.
he's caught up decently though to Stingray, so
About, 8/10 in the last lap? 8, 9/10, something like
yeah,
that?
7 tenths, and he is within striking range. So Dynamite could go for the move here. And an interesting fact: the last time Kennedy Motorsport had a double podium was Brands Hatch all the way back in season 4.
He is in for that. Is Long time ago. Who
Yeah,
was on that podium?
yeah, that night, I'll tell you now, it was the sprint race. Yeah, Dynamite, he's flying through.
I think Stingray's given that away. I know Supra's faster, but I think Stingray backed it off quite early. I think he is in DEFCON 5 in terms of fuel now and saving it.
Yeah, has a little bit less to offer. Viper just sitting there, watching those two. There might still be a 45.5 last lap from Viper. There really could be. There really could be a podium here for Viper still. But yeah, going back to it, the last time, it was Brands Hatch Season 4, the sprint race. Back then, it was Ridwan in P1, BK in P2, and Lunacy in P3.
At that point, the reigning champion he would have been.
Yeah, it was actually Lunacy's final full-time drive for Kennedy Motorsport before departing team at the halfway mark of the season.
On to other adventures at that point in time, but he's back.
He is
running a quiet race at the back, unfortunately, after getting pole position. A real what could have been for Lunacy today.
Yeah, and Lunacy, third in the Drivers' Championship heading into this one. And
going to take a hit to the competitors behind him who are currently running 2, 4 and 6. I believe the 3 behind him. And
yeah,
P7 as well. So finishing behind all 4 of them is not going to help.
Yeah, and Dynamite as well, 8th in the championship. He's not too far out of it either. So yeah, all of those guys that he needed to be ahead of tonight to help his champion, to help him finish P3, he's kind of stuck behind them all.
Those 6 seem to be converging on each other championship-wise at the moment. It's all going to come down to it crunch time in the final quarter of the season.
Yeah, it really could heat up in the back end here, as Ridwan still has a beautiful gap there to BK. Dynamite gapping Stingray as well.
Dynamite 45.6 PB last time by. He is gunning for his teammate.
Yeah, he's operating on demon time.
BK still doing 46 flats though on those mediums, some incredible pace.
Yeah, Ridwan not upping the pace yet either. You know what?
Mid 46s.
I reckon he has that pace in his back pocket, and I think he'll harness it when he has to.
Yeah, why use it and make a mistake? Just run a city pace and get it home. 46.3 at time for BK, slightly slower.
Another 45.5.
He is closing slightly wide at turn 1 there, but it's nothing too harmful in terms of that pace. I see Viper right there.
Yeah.
He is closing on prying Stingray.
I think Dynamite might be the only thing keeping Stingray in this one compared in the fight with Viper.
It is entirely possible. Giving Stingray a bucket load of tow, which will help him down the straights. But Viper is coming.
So this battle for third is going to be the one that takes us home, as BKXI a little bit too far behind to get a move done on Ridwan. So it will be a what if for Kennedy Motorsport today, I believe.
Big old what if, I suspect.
But it'll be interesting
Unless
to see.
a mistake happens from Ridwan in the final lap and a half, which I more chance of seeing a comet.
More chance of seeing pigs fly than seeing Ridwan throw this one away, unless there are factors that are out of his control.
Unless he gets struck by lightning with a lap to go.
Yeah, and Stingray's lost track of Dynamite as well, so...
Stingray is fuel critical at this point.
He is. And Viper's right behind him too. I think Stingray might have pit too early.
Like, he ran out of fuel on the way in, he couldn't do another lap.
Yeah.
And he's giving that one away to Viper.
Viper's going to go around the outside.
Definitely fuel saving now. The Porsche is not that much faster than the Mercedes in the straight line. Stingray is...
Oh, look at that. Yeah, 2.4 seconds.
I think the gap to Blocky is just slightly too big.
Yeah.
Blocky must have made a mistake
about
that last
13 seconds or so.
He has made a massive mistake on the last lap somewhere.
So Dynamite's got a nice gap to Viper here. So I think that battle for third has probably calmed down for now.
Done.
This is the closest we've seen BK to Ridwan this entire stint. That last lap, BK 4/10 faster.
I don't think 4/10 faster is enough to get him within tow and to Ridwan. So, foreboding any mistakes, Red One has this to this point, as long as he doesn't run out of fuel with, onto the final straight, which he doesn't seem to look like doing.
No,
A
he's been
proper
very
drive from
strong
Red One.
tonight.
Had to do it the hard way. Get through those Supras. The Revo's running the alternate strategy not quite working, and Stingray just the car letting him down in terms of fuel.
Yeah,
Had
Team
to
Max
work for
Speed
it.
not having the race pace today. And you know what? He was never the fastest driver today. Red Wine was, but he was the most
Didn't have to
consistent.
be.
He had the best strategy. He drove the better race. BK's gaining on him rapidly. I'm
But it
fearing
won't be
that FP
just
racing
enough.
car could be on the verge of running out of fuel.
It is running on fumes, but that's all it needs to be as he comes
Yeah,
up to
look
the
how
line.
close BK is. He's gaining rapidly, but it's not going to be
Red One
enough
will win
for
in
the seventh
Daytona.
time. For the seventh time this season, Red One wins. BK in second, Dynamite in third. Viper, he's going to finish fourth, doing the extra pit stop. A superb drive there. Stingray's going to finish fifth. And in that 78 garage, it is going to be What If. Blocky is going to finish sixth. Ah, look at the brothers. Jack did catch
Jack
him.
has reeled him in, but he may be a day late, dollar short for Jack unless he gets a massive run onto the straight here. I don't think he will. Presley will just hold on for P7
Yeah,
ahead
not
of
enough.
his brother in 8. Lane will
Oh, look
come
at this!
across and
3
not
cars!
just about
Lane
from
9,
Lunacy and
Lunacy
Kirby.
10, Kirby Texas 11th. And
Separated by almost nothing. Bodhold a quiet race in the end of P12. Another what if. Just ran out of pace on those mediums.
yeah, so it's going to be a quiet one for Bodhod, as he's going to bring that car home in P12.
Jamo, a very lonely race in 13th in the end.
Yeah, a bit. What if for Jamal as well? Obviously, they had the race car today to do it. So I think there were points. I think there were definitely points left on the table for Jamo,
sure.
Savage Duck, and Bent Stick, finishing a lap down as Jamo
crosses in 13th.
rounds out the field. So what a race we witnessed there. Blocky Ripline F1 winning for the 7th time, and BKXI a season best P2 7/10 was the gap to Red One. So close yet so far.
Lap. One more lap,
It
as
just
is mostly the case.
it just wasn't meant to be. Dynamite as well, his second
Solid
podium of the
P3.
season. His second endurance podium of the season as well, as we'll get into the Drivers'
Big
Championship.
points.
Lane Everingham has lost his championship lead. Ridwan moves up in the first. He is 42 points clear of Lane Everingham, and that is going to be a very, very intense final 3 weeks between the two of them. I honestly have no idea who is going to come out on top in that fight.
It is anyone's game from here. And FP lead the team's championship now as well over Max Speed
Yeah,
by
115 points.
115 points. It is a large swing. Can they carry that momentum into the final 3 rounds and finally capture their first team's title after 4 real stabs at trying? Can this be the one?
It has eluded them quite a fair bit, so we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. Lunacy still third in the Drivers' Championship. He maintains a 69-point lead over the Stone Towel in 4th, and BK is 3 points behind in 5th. So that is going to spice up quite a fair bit. 26 points behind BK in 5th is Prying Stingray in P6. So that could be a very interesting 98 points separating 3rd through 6th. That could be a very strong fight on the way home. Blocky Rex in 7th. He leads Dynamite by 31 points. So Blocky versus Dynamite for P7 there could be on the cards. Orphan Drop in 9th. Jamo rounding out the top 10 in the championship. A strong season for him so far. Bodhod struggling in 11th. Roscoe's in 12th. Tim is in 13th. And then going through the rest of our full-time drivers, Tube is in 16th after signing for the team from the Nürburgring onwards. And Curving Texas, first night back in the car, he is 18th in the Drivers' Championship. Then
I
moving
mean,
forward,
Euro
Blocky.
Cup wise,
Yeah, Lane Everingham.
Lane
He could have
leads
wrapped it.
by. He could have, but again, another day of what ifs in terms of the pace for that Subaru. There'll be much reflection back at that camp as to what went wrong, but Lane leads by just 55 points over Dynamite now into Bathurst. Could Dynamite steal it at the death?
I mean, it could happen. It really, really could happen. It could be Dynamite's time. I believe a podium at Bathurst should be enough for Lane Everingham. But yeah, 55 points is the lead there. It's 95 points. 85 points, sorry. 85 points to Ridwan in third and 86 points to BK in fourth. So
Any
all
one of
four of
those
those,
four.
any one of those four could walk away your Enduro Cup winner. And imagine that. The narrative all season has been Lane versus Ridwan. Imagine if one of those Kennedy Motorsport boys could sneak in and win the Enduro Cup Stephen Bradbury style. I don't think anyone pre-season would have seen that one coming.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, all four of them have two Enduro podiums each. Lane with his two wins, Ridwan a first and a second, BK a second and a third, and Dynamite with two third place finishes. So all four of them have been mega, mega consistent.
The class of the field in terms of the Enduros to this point, but one more to go, that being the mountain.
And that one will take place in
What's
2 weeks'
the mountain
time, as the Trial Mountain Super Sprint is the round that separates Daytona and Bathurst. And Blocky, it's the first time the series ever visits Trial Mountain.
should be interesting. It is a super sprint as well, which means it's go hard and go fast.
And that is exactly what Lane Everingham are going to have to do. Trial Mountain Super Sprint is your next round. We'll see you then. I've been BKXI. That's been Blocky Rex. And we'll see you
Bye-bye.
next time.